Kia ora, good evening. You're here with Boys Get Paid, coming at you live from the Export Beer Garden studio. Dan has joined us straight from the loo. Under control there, Dan?
Yeah, all good to go, mate.
Good man. What's that for the night? That's 2 in the last 10 minutes, isn't it?
The nerves are high. The nerves are high, eh?
Outstanding work from Adam. He's caught you unawares there. I'm sure there'll be another one needed before the end of the show, mate. Good work. Good on you. Welcome along, everybody. It's great to see you all on another Thursday night live from the Export Beer Garden studio where boys get paid. Matt, Luke and Dan. And we're looking forward to some good racing again this week. We've got Pukekohe, the Soliloquy Stakes, Riccarton, the Watercree, Prowess and Mustang Valley, and the Crystal Mile, and Peerages and the Manikato, and of course, the Cox Plate. Luke, how are you, mate?
Yeah, really well, mate. Well, actually, that's a bit of a lie. A little bit dusty, but hey, you know, we'll fight through and we'll carry on.
Good man. You dusty on account of Caulfield? The Caulfield Cup got you?
Yeah, it might be a late hangover. I was feeling really good yesterday, but I might have picked something up. Might have a grade 3 strain or something from the NRL. Who knows? Who knows what happens to the athletes, or done a fetlock. So we'll see how we go. We'll kick on.
Yeah. Luke, you've had 2 good weekends on the piss. You've had a bit of a break on the weekend. Dan, I understand. Non-alcoholics for you, mate?
Yeah, it was non-alcoholics.
Not today.
No. I spent the weekend at the Hunua Eeling competition.
What the?
So I took the kids out and caught some eels. And
Is that right?
Didn't win anything, but yeah, it was good.
Really? Did you? What the hell? How big was the biggest eel you caught?
The biggest one that I caught was like 2.5 kilos.
Wow.
The biggest one on the day was like 8.5 kilos.
What are you using for bait down there in Hunua at the eel competition?
Oh, normally mix in a bit of dog food and some. They love like some freshly shot pukekos or I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I can say that. Bunny rabbits.
You mean takahays?
Yeah.
They're all right, aren't they? They're fair game.
Oh yeah, I better get this back on track, Matty.
No, I want to know. Did you eat any?
Any eels?
Yeah.
Oh god, no.
Nah.
No. Yeah, it's catch and release, so you got to keep them alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unlike the pukekos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gone. Oh, smoked eel. That's all right. It tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
Good on you, Dan. Well, how was Caulfield, Luke, mate? You had a good weekend?
Yeah, it was great. Great track. First time I've been there. Great crew as well. We had a great table up there in the committee lounge. Good to see Brad Taylor win the Caulfield Cup as well. The day went really, really quickly. Easy to get to. People into it. Racing was the winner on the day. The boys had a few collects as well, which was good. Punt IQ, a little bit of value here, there, and everywhere. And you can't watch any New Zealand racing over there. That was my one piece of feedback for the place. Write an email, write a letter in, put it in the feedback box. There's a fucking racing in New Zealand. I had to watch it on the small screen the whole day and blow me bloody data out.
Is that right?
Got the old beep beep. You've used beep beep. Remember? We've used 80% of your bloody roaming data. Top up again so you can keep watching and keep punting.
I thought Sky Racing had all the New Zealand racing on. I know racing.com doesn't, but...
They do have it on, but they just bump it, eh? Like, as soon as there's something else, it just... Like, we're about to go into, I think, Johnny's race, or one of the big races, and they're, like, behind the gates and loading away. Then there's, right, Eagle Farm now. I'm like, okay, sweet,
Devastating.
Yeah.
Were you on without a fight, Caulfield Cup?
No. I was actually on the horse that ran second, West Wind Blows.
Oh, so was Dan. You guys were all in?
And we had a Sulkin place bet as well, which we thought, but when that missed the kick by about 86 lengths, okay, well, there goes that cash as well. That multi's out.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was bloody good time.
Nice. And I understand that Matty Punt IQ went well on the punt as well, which is always good signs for him.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't get his best bet home in the last, which I think people were probably anchoring. It was into $1.80, I think, by the time it jumped from $3. But yeah, he certainly had a few other winners throughout the day. And we saw our mate Phil as well, Gleason, who was at the Everest event.
Right,
I see this bloke, I thought, shit, that guy looks a lot like the guy, Phil, that was at the Everest event. And I sort of looked at him, and he walked over and was kind of like, mate. And I'm like, oh, fuck, it is you. I think he was thinking, what an asshole.
You always see people around that you know at these types of things. It's awesome.
Yeah, and he had a horse in there that won one of the races, and bet the horse that bet Zurion. Well, I can't remember what it's called. Some
Won the
French
Guineas
name.
Prelude.
Yeah, yeah. And he was told us before, he's like, best horse in Australia, mate. It'll be, well, not best horse, but best 3-year-old. Should be winning this. Bit of a sticky draw. We beat the draw. We get home. Fucking get on for the Guineas. It's like, oh, okay, we'll better have a bet. So we did. And yeah, got the chocolate. Okay, good.
Did you spend it all at the casino on Saturday night?
I didn't. I tell you what,
Oh,
2 a.m. in the morning over there, that bloody food court at the Crown Casino is busier than the Plaza food court in Palmerston North at 2 p.m. on a Saturday. It's just unbelievable. People were just eating, gambling, punting, lining up for the toilets I don't know what's going on. It just seems very busy over there.
Yeah, just need to stay awake, They need to keep everybody awake in there, don't they?
Crazy stuff. But, there's no recession or anything over there by the seams because everyone was fair stuck into it.
Yeah, nice. Well, glad you had a good weekend, mate. It's good to hear the stories. Good to hear everybody went well on the punt. This weekend we've got plenty to look forward to. But if we reflect on last weekend, firstly, let's just talk about the Rugby World Cup quickly, lads. Just before we get into the racing, Dan, I think you called it a few weeks ago, didn't you? That you're all on the All Blacks, and you said there's only 3 teams that can get there. I think it was the All Blacks, South Africa, and someone else I can't remember who's not there, obviously. But you must be happy, mate.
Yeah. No, pretty stoked. Last weekend I think was from the All Blacks perspective. I think the big game we had against Ireland was really hard to sort of come down off that mountain. Like, it was full of energy. Then we sort of beat up the Pumas, unluckily for them. But the game England-South Africa was a really tight game, and it was like right on the verge the whole time. Although, the first 60 minutes was some of the most boring fucking rugby I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
The last 20 minutes almost made up for it from the nail-biting finish.
Yeah, you don't want to see rugby like that too often, eh? But this week is going to be awesome. Well done to the All Blacks. Outstanding. Did you get on Will Jordan, first try scorer, mate?
Didn't have him first try. Got greedy, mate. I multied him with Geordie B, and obviously they both scored within about 32 seconds of each other because they're just so fucking good at code. As I said, they'd dust up the Argentinians, and they certainly did. But I put Mark Telaire in there. And just seems lazy from him. He was trying to get himself involved in the game, but he couldn't get across the white line, and that meant that I didn't get paid. So, hey, I'm not sure who's to blame, him or me, but probably myself.
He was very, very close, mate. Yeah. That's not a bad bet. And, like we say, honestly, that's amazing. Hopefully everybody out there, no doubt everybody's got their plans for Sunday morning sorted. There'll be plenty of beers involved, and hopefully you can pay for those beers with your winnings on Saturday. Something else that was super impressive on Saturday was Crocetti. Everybody seemed to be keen on Lupo Solitario, and Luke tells me that the exacta for Crocetti Lupo Solitario, which came through, paid $5, but Lupo Solitario, Luke, just was too good again, eh?
Yeah, very clinical, that horse, very professional. See, it's $1.70 now in the 2,000 guineas.
Yeah.
I can't really remember one for some time that's probably gone into the 2,000 guineas off of a prep like this. I'm sure there may be something, and Ted will probably remind us in the comments as he likes to do. But yeah, $1.70. I actually heard something during the week where not entirely sure, if he'll get the mile amazingly, but you got to give him a crack. So I don't know if I'd be having a bit of that $1.70. But anyway, nonetheless, on Saturday, very, very impressive. There's obviously a lot of hype around Lupo. Lupo sort of fought back as well and managed to grab that second. I see it now goes out for a bit, comes back for the Bone Crusher in January. So, yeah, all eyes on the 2,000 guineas. It's going to be a bloody great way to start Cup Week down there in Christchurch.
Absolutely. We're building into Cup Week. We've got the Soliloquy and War Decree this week as well, which is going to tell you a lot about these 3-year-old races. But, Dan, is there anything early doors in the 1,000, 2,000 guineas outside of Crocetti at this point of time that you're keen on? Have you had a look at it?
I've had a little bit of a look, but I think I'm just going to wait and see what happens. With the $1.70 favourite, Croce looked really good, looked really impressive. But, barrier draws, track, weather, a lot can come into it. So when you've got a short price favourite like that, maybe you just have to wait a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, $1.70 is far too short, like you say, with a heavy track. But also that day is going to be the New Zealand Cup. Ted's best bet from the weekend, Pignon, got a very, very good second, but was beaten by Nest Egg, who I see is coming to favouritism for the New Zealand Cup. Yeah. JBG ran on Friday, Luke. How's our $26 punt on JBG looking, mate?
Don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry. We get those Ks undefeated. It was booming home down there at Woodville. Great lead-up race, that sort of area. I think it might race over 2,500. I think is the race. It might be the Metropolitan or something on the Wednesday.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't surprise me to see it do something like that where it backs up. It's just going to get more Ks under feet and just go around and absolutely piss bowl them over 3,200 meters on the Saturday down there at Christchurch. Fuck, I'm that pumped. I'm going to go down.
Yeah, mate, you're in. You're doing it.
Everything's paid for by JBG. I put some more on this week. I put multis on. I can't believe it. I thought, it'll be $2.60 now. No, it's still $26. Get a little bit more on.
It's out of 31s.
31s.
After flying home at Woodville.
Unbelievable.
Mate, that's a lead-in race and a half. Surely you should have had the quote.
I've looked back to New Zealand Cup history, and
I'm sure you
interestingly,
have.
the runners that have run second in that race at Woodville have gone on to win the Cup 15 times.
Oh my, there we go.
Yeah.
So I think they've got the quote wrong. So I'm gonna get on a plane. I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna watch JVG piss bowl them in that. I'll probably pick up the winner of the 1,000 guineas, which we'll discuss later on as well. I'll take some of those BGP Opie Bosson badges down. So if you're in Christchurch at Cup Week, you'll see me floating around. I'll have a stack of badges. I'll have a stack of cash after the Cup. And I'll probably have a stack of beers and come home on the Sunday.
Mate, it will be outstanding. If you're not on JBG already, make sure that you get on. I'm sure there's plenty of other hopes. But how the hell do these horses run 2,500 metres on a Wednesday and then 3,200 metres on a Saturday? I heard something about Ladies Man doing this in the lead up to the Melbourne Cup as well. It's going to have to go a race on a Saturday and then run on the Melbourne Cup on a Tuesday to get late. Yeah. Normally these horses need a break, but these distance runners are crazy, eh?
Not good horses like JBG, mate.
No.
Built different. Built different.
They eat it up. Eat it up. Good luck. Good luck for everybody involved in that. Did you fellas also see, Luke, you would have been happy with Habana running in behind Johnny, who just fell over the line in the Swainies?
Yeah, I kind of didn't hope the run was going to be that good because I sort of thought, well, I want people to forget about it and we get a better quote because we know it doesn't usually perform that well fresh up, but it did. But I did say that you would expect the money to be on if this horse would be winning, and it still drifted out. So I think we were right. We were right to stay off, but shit, it was a big run. I don't think anyone's going to miss it, and I think it'll be in people's black books, etc. We'll probably be getting $2
Looks
when
like
it gets to the mile next start, I'd imagine.
Got to go second up, eh, Dan?
Yeah, I will be. There was another horse in there. I don't know if you've seen it.
on.
Beep, beep.
Beep, beep. Oh, yeah, we had a good crack at that, didn't we?
Huge. It drifted out to 51s as well.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll follow that one because that was his first venture into the open handicap, or it was like a weight for age, wasn't it? So
yeah.
Set weights and penalties or something. But yeah, like I'll follow that horse because it ran quite well.
Yeah, it did. And there were actually a few finishing in behind there as well. And little Johnny, you got to love that horse. Eh? Gets to the front, bowls him along, and then just hangs on. It's just great.
Interestingly as well, at Caulfield, these Aussie lads who didn't mind a bit, they were like, oh, there's a superstar going around in New Zealand today, eh? I said, JBG ran yesterday, boys. Nah, but they were talking about Crescetti. So
I thought you were going to say Johnny.
No, but there was obviously a bit of chat in Aussie about Crescetti and Johnny because there was a bit of chat about these two things win, don't they? Shouldn't you be multing them up? Is that the bet of the day in New Zealand? And I was saying, I'll swerve both of those, try and find some value elsewhere. And so I did that, and they won, and I didn't. But there was obviously chat about both those horses, which is good to see across the ditch.
Absolutely. I guess any of those 3-year-olds, like last year, I think it was, Legato was unbeaten all that time, and look what that went on to do as a 3-year-old over there too. So they're obviously keeping an eye out because they've seen Pro-S come over there as well, and now they got Imperatriz. Fuck, that's exciting for this weekend. Honourable mention to the Goats Liffey that was flying home into third place as well. That was his best bet. Dan Strathtay, I'm not sure, mate. You can make comment on that as well. But this is dramatic in the Thompson Handicap. Were you on, or did you get on Mazzolino, who I think ran second?
I did have a each way go on Mazzolino. I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Strathtay, just too far back, not enough pace, and just struggled to get into it.
Yeah, very interesting race that. I thought that we talked about those two as being the dangers. They've run the Quinella. I think the Quinella might have been $15 or something stupid. Bellardo boy, geez, still running. Don't know if he'll be doing fucking races on Wednesday and then again on Saturday, but forget he went around, I reckon. Forget he went around. Maybe end up lower down in the weights at some stage, and we can launch and have a crack. He'll pop up and he'll kick some ass at some stage, much like Wild Moose, no doubt.
Yeah.
But in a race that we're probably backing against it, but keep a wary eye out.
Absolutely, yeah. Fashion shoot went nowhere as well. The lads had a tough weekend. Dan, did you put any body bags out there, mate? Or no?
The only body bag there was for me.
For you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, had a tough weekend.
Okay.
That's right. Turn the page. Focus on this weekend. I've got some futures on the Cox Plate winner. So pretty stoked about that. I've just turned the page. I'll move on. It's going to be a fucking fill up this weekend.
Good man.
I'm just going to interrupt here because Ted's come in to correct you, Matt, which I feel like is always good so we get the truth here. So he says, Matt, the 2,600 metre Met drop is on the first Saturday and the Cup, the 3,200, is on the following Saturday. So there is a week between them. It's not a Wednesday to Saturday. So I just want to clear that up.
Good. No, that's good. Hey, Ted, though, there's a distance race on the Wednesday too, I thought, or maybe there used to be and they've moved it back. I thought there was some sort of 2,000 or 2,500 metres. And maybe I've got that wrong. Anyway,
What he's basically saying is get on JBG.
I think that's what Ted's trying to tell us.
100%.
Yeah, get on. That $31, that should be 11. Outstanding. Speaking of Ted, thanks for chiming in, mate. Ash run yesterday in the Geelong Cup. Not sure if you fellas saw that, but Ted is throwing them out in the BGP chat in Australia. Really, really good each-way horses. He got another one. It obviously didn't win, but it came in second. He's got interpretation tomorrow night at the Valley, in the Valley Cup. Is that right?
I've multed that with JBG.
Are you on, Dan? Surely we've got to get on, mate.
I'm on it. Anytime I see Ted put something in, I just go into my TAB account and I put a unit on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mate. That's real punt talk. Yeah. That's good, mate.
A BB, a body bag.
And then I move on to the next day. Often I don't even watch it. I just look at the cash the next day.
Well, I did think Money Valley. I'm like, damn it, that's too late for me. I'll be asleep, so I'll be dreaming of it, no doubt, and checking it in the middle of the night if I wake up, or in the morning when I get up.
Mate, it's about 10:45, I think, on a Friday night. It's
Fucking hell. Jeez.
Yeah,
Would have
awesome.
slept for 8 hours by then.
Well, we got the Valley Friday, and then we've got the Valley on Saturday too, which is pretty cool. Thanks for all those tips out in Australia, Ted. Absolutely outstanding for those of us that can't really keep up with it, but just want something to follow, mate. You're doing a hell of a job with those. Before we get into the races this week, lads, the Melbourne Cup, I think we were going to talk about it at the end of the show, but Luke, I think you got an email going out in the morning, mate. We don't have an event, but where are we going?
No, well, you boys are keen for a beer, so I thought, well, should we find out if anyone else is keen for a beer around here in the 09 and Auckland area? We might head up to One Up Bar / Corner Bar. Looks like they're doing a bit of a joint event. I assume they're putting a bridge over the road so you can go between the two. They have a self-service terminal by the looks. They got a barbecue. Rumours are JBG's going to be singing after the last.
Rock Me Gently?
Yeah, mate. Well,
Maybe,
maybe turn up on the back of a Jeep. Anyway, we'll be heading up there for a beer, most probably at this stage. But anyway, I'll send out an email tomorrow as well. And if you do want to come along, then get in touch. And as we start to build those details, we'll form a bit of a group if people do want to get in the mix. And otherwise, it'll just be us three, and we'll be tearing into it.
Absolutely. Don't come and talk to us about punting. Come and talk to us about who you want, what song you want played at the Karaka Millions, I reckon. Ted's gone for Rock Me Gently. Let us know what you think about that out there, team. Get in the comments as well. I forgot to mention at the start, we want to know who you're punting on this week. As always, we're going to be keeping an eye on those and read those out very, very shortly. But also let us know, what's your punt in the rugby as well? Is there anything good that you've got? First try scorer, point start. Don't even know what that means. But, who's going to win? What do you reckon?
The point start was easy on the weekend. Actually, the Coward Syndicate, that's me and Matt and Josh over there in Australia.
Coward?
Yeah, mix up the names. We us Cowards took the point start. It was only minus 18.5, so that basically means the All Blacks start on negative 18.5, and they've got to they effectively have to beat them by 19 or more, and you get paid. And so we chucked a little unit on that and managed to collect pretty easy. And
I would have thought, that's a simple bet. Argentina were never going to.
Oh, there you go, mate.
Well done. If I'd have known that. Jeez, I was too busy on a stag do, which I've just recovered from, and I'm looking forward to the racing this weekend. I watched nothing last weekend,
Hey,
but I'm getting there.
On that, if you got ideas for Ben's stag do, because we've got Ben's stag do coming up in January, need some ideas, so feel free to leave those in the comments as well, or send us a private message, an email, or some photos of a stag do you've been on. Nothing's off limits. Let us know.
There's a little place I've been to just over the pond. It's called Las Vegas. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Body bags are us.
There's a chance for a stag party over there. It's a good place.
Wow.
Hey, very good suggestion. I think Luke was just thinking about a boat on the harbour, yeah?
Yeah, something casual as that. Maybe, I don't know, a bit of Tempin bowling, or I can go play bingo or something. Just keep it nice and casual.
The issue with this is that Ben will see everything in the comments, so he'll kind of know what the options are.
Well, he won't know what we choose, though.
Nah, that's very true.
He'll be blind by the time he gets there.
Absolutely, mate. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Stag do's are great, but they do take some time to recover from, so make sure you're ready to go, mate. You'll be right.
Okay.
Righto, let's rip into it, lads. This weekend we do have some very good racing, like we said, in both Christchurch and Pukekohe, the return of Pukekohe for the summer, which is awesome. Great racing out of the Valley, and some racing at Randwick too, so always something to look forward to at this time of the year. Let's get the lads' thoughts on some of those races coming up, starting with the War Decree Stakes down in Riccarton. Should have had it in front of me. Not quite sure what race it is, but people can find that out. Trobrion 7, Sean Johnson.
Yep.
Good man. Trobrion's favourite on that. Luke, mate, you've got any thoughts?
Yeah, look, we've got the North Islanders heading down there. I feel like Dan's done a stack of video for this. We were talking about this earlier, Lantern Way. It was a very good win last start. I saw someone earlier saying they need to have a market by how many lengths this is going to win by. So there's a lot of confidence around this horse, but it's out of a horse called No More Doubt. And I do have a little bit of doubt about how it's going to go on Saturday. I think the way that I found to play this race was probably just take a bit of burn to shine to run in the top 4. I didn't mind its runs at Hastings, and I thought, right, they'll get it down there, get this ready for the 2,000 guineas. Excuse me, very well bred, so you think, out of Smolder. Heavy track last start. I want to see this horse back on a better track and see how it can go. Obviously, Trobriand, we know all about this horse. A third in the Karaka Million, I believe. Is that right? Yep.
Yeah.
And then, anyway, it's gone down to Riccarton and beaten Bozo, which we saw come out and win on the weekend as well. So a very, very tricky race, but I'll probably be sticking with Trobriand. However, barrier 12, $2.80. Do you really want to play that? Probably still would. And I'm going to be having a crack, though. I'll be putting Burn to Shine to run top 4 in my multis. Dan.
Yeah, I am a little bit concerned about Lantern Way coming on to a good track. I assume it's going to be a good track, just based on the weather.
Yeah.
It looks like Google weather tells me that it's probably going to be a good track. So the way it won last start, it won pretty impressively, but on a pretty shit track. I just don't know. I don't know if I have enough confidence to follow that. Burn to Shine, I feel like its first 2 starts were really good runs. And then last start, if you go back and have a look at it, it looked like it was swimming a bit with about 100 to go and just didn't look like it handled the track. And that was on Arrowfield Day where there's a lot of horses that really struggled.
Yeah.
And a couple of punters too, me included. Trobriand won pretty impressively last start, but I feel like this Burn to Shine's maybe a little bit more progressive than the other 2. And I think the 1,600 and the step up to 1,600 drawn to the 550 and $1.90. I think that's pretty good each way value.
Nice, mate.
Nice. Burn to Shine's never run out of the top 3, and it's been in pretty good races as well. So why not? When you're talking about taking the top 4, fellas, at $1.50, are you talking about taking that just as a straight up bet, or are you saying put it into a multi or something like that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll take it in a multi. I mean, right. there's a horse later on today which we'll talk about, and you can get $2.10 around the top 4, which probably just makes that the sort of each way play instead of going right each way, traditional each way, first and third, going right over. Let's back it back to 4th just in case it doesn't win. Then at least you're going to get your money back if it runs 4th. But $1.55, obviously pretty short of $1.50 now. But I thought this has to be a pretty good chance to be running top 4 in a race like this, considering it's already sort of proven itself. So into the old multi it'll go. Yeah.
Same for you, Dan, multi, or just chuck 1,000 on it?
No, I'll probably. I think I like the idea of the. I think that the $1.90 for top 3 is good enough value for me. So I think I'll have a bit of that in my multis. But I am also I'm quite happy to chance my arm a little bit here and throw the win bet
nice
at 550.
Good man.
Into my multis as well to throw in a bit more value.
Good man.
I think it's got a really good chance. I think that last run we could almost put a line through it because that track was not good for some horses. A lot of horses really tripped up on that.
Yeah. Yeah, good man. I sort of tend to agree. I definitely think Burn to Shine top 4. I'll be looking for a power play. I think Trobriand's going to win it. I think it's got that 3-year-old form from last season where we know. Sorry, that 2-year-old form from last season where we know Tokyo Tycoon was awesome, and that was probably the only horse it couldn't beat apart from Ethereal Star. And I just saw it coming from barrier 12 last start. It wasn't barrier 12, but it was coming from wide down Riccarton. It beat them pretty easily, and it's Taako. They always come to the fore at this, these sort of events. So I'm happy to take that. I'll have a look at what the power play is with Burn to Shine in the top 4, and see what happens there. But I think it all sounds like we're going the same way. There's a few others in there, but no comment, unfortunately, from the lads. So let's move on to the other 3-year-old race up north, Pukekohe, the Soliloquy Stakes. Honestly, Dan, mate, there is form coming from everywhere here. Hey, I looked at all these horses like they've all won a race. They're all in different races. It's crazy. Have you managed to pull it apart?
I have a little bit, and I am actually a little bit surprised that Molly Bloom's come up favourite for this. Like, even though it's got a little bit better draw than Luberon, like, it was green. It was a $2.10 favourite last time and got beaten up. That was on Everest Day. And I might be talking a little bit through my pocket here because I got beaten up a bit early as well from it. But to me, it just didn't look like a horse that was, deserved of being a favourite in a race like this. I'm confident, even with a bad draw, Luberon will prove to probably be the better horse in this one. And it's drawn 11, but a couple might come out here. If you look further down the page, there's quite a few horses there with no jockeys.
Yeah.
And I think there's maximum 14 starters. So it's a chance that it might come into 9. 1,400 metres at Pukekohe. You have a decent amount of time.
It's a long straight, eh?
It is a long straight down the back there. I mean, the 1,600 is much longer, but the 1,400 is still long enough, I think, to find a position. And I think we might find... The other one that I actually like is Tulsi as well at $8.50 and $2.80. I think in its last start, it run the fastest sectionals in the race for the last 400 and the last 600 and 200 or something like that. It was coming home quite nicely. That's got a nice draw, so I don't think I wouldn't write that one off at $2.80 for top 3. I think that's all right. But yeah, for me, I'm going to follow Luberon. And Pendabell was really good as well last start. So I don't know. Yeah, you can look everywhere, but for me, I'll just go with Luberon. I think it's the best horse in the race.
Nice, mate. Luke?
Well, I think Molly Bloom, it was all the hype after that first win at Taupo because horses just don't do that, right? And things probably didn't go its way there at Hastings on a day that was quite tricky. But you can still get that horse $7 boosted to win the 1,000 guineas. So if you still believe the hype, then you'd probably be going again, wouldn't you, before it races on Saturday? Because if it does live up to that hype, then I think that price is going to be gone. But Luberon, Molly Bloom, the two joint favourites for the 1,000 guineas, we're going to get a good line on how they are both progressing come Saturday when we get to see them go around and race each other. This is, like Dan says, a very tricky race. The horse that you haven't mentioned, mate, that I think will be a huge chance is Mary Shan. It was obviously massive last start at Tauranga on a soft track, and that is right-handed. We, stay right-handed now. It just let down really, really well, but it didn't beat up. How did that Bubblina go in the last today? But I don't think that won. So I don't know. Probably didn't beat too much that day, but still ran home pretty well and in good time. And the money was on $1.30. Got a bit of time for this horse, so I'm going to stick with this. I've already backed it to win the 1,000 guineas. I think it can upset them all. I think if they were smart, they'd win this on Saturday, enter the 2,000 guineas, which I don't think they're nominated for, win that too, and then go win the 1,000 guineas and do the Katie Lee and win both of the guineas. But hey, fuck knows, what am I talking about? I could have it all wrong. But yeah, very, very tricky race, but I'm going to put Mary Shan on top. I do really like Luberon as well. That's a quality animal, and it looks like it's still got a fair bit of upside. So probably be having a Quinella on those two and just holding me fingers crossed all the way down that Riccarton straight that I can get paid, because I think that'll be a decent Quinella.
Nice, mate. Like the value there. I agree. Mary Shan's been absolutely flying home, eh? Like real eye-catching runs. It's awesome. Luberon was running around a little bit. Probably got a lot to learn from that. And if it gets if it runs straight down the Pukekohe 500-metre straight to the finish line, it probably should get there. But Celine Gaudray is riding Luberon, lads. I'm not sure if you've come across her before, but apparently she's a superstar amateur rider in Australia. Coming over for the day.
Bloody good. That's what we like to see.
How good?
Yeah, love anyone with the name Celine.
Celine.
My heart will go on.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that about you, mate. That's
she
good.
Enjoys. She lives in Vegas. Speaking of Vegas. Sorry, anyway. Celine.
Celine there. Good on you, Celine. Good luck on Saturday. We hope you go well, and we hope we see you back. Apparently, you might be coming back for some other race days as well. You guys, I looked at it. There was so many. I think there was also down the bottom of the book, Glamour Tycoon, who hasn't won but run really well. Chikamahito's won a good, won a race. Sid Bina's won one. But I like a horse that you mentioned, Dan, and I think it might be slightly forgotten, although it's never really done anything at this point. But Impenda Bell, I heard Tony Pike at the start of the season talking about how he's really looking forward to it, and it was coming up really well. in its first race back in the Gold Trail, it got smashed at the start and went back about 5 metres, but ran home really well. I think it was only about 5th or 6th, but came home nicely. Second start, it was 1.8 lengths off Crecchetti on a heavy track. I don't think anything in here is run against anything like Crecchetti, so to be 1.8 lengths off Crecchetti, pretty good form to me. Last season was only kind of 3 lengths off Tokyo Tycoon, so I don't know. I just reckon I've already had a crack at it as well. $7, $2.50. And Pendabell third up could be the way to go. And like you, Luke, Mary Shan, I might think it might win the 1,000 Guineas as well. I really liked this horse last year. And it never won anything, like I say. But I don't know. Its 2 runs have been really impressive. So I hope it goes well.
Looking forward to that, mate. Looking forward to that. A nice multi on Cup Day would be Mary Shan to win the 1,000 Guineas. Have a saver on LJ to win the... No, I mean JBG.
We're throwing out plenty here. However many horses we've mentioned there, no doubt everybody's thinking the same thing. Really looking forward to seeing Ted's thoughts on this race. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win that. But hopefully, out of those 16 horses we've named there, something comes in. Good luck for it, lads.
Yep. Next week we'll be able to say, oh, damn, mate, you did say,
Yeah, you mentioned it. Exactly. Right. Anything else before we get over to Australia? There was something in the run sheet. I'm not actually sure who wrote it, but anything else on the cards that we like this weekend? And there's something, the Rickerton multi.
Oh, yeah, I put that in there.
Oh, okay. What's that? What's going on there?
Yeah, I thought, hey,
I'm keen to get on a multi.
Okay,
Yeah.
I put it on before you say, oh, no, I've seen that one. Yeah. Yep, I'm on.
I just thought, might
You
give us
on?
a opinion. A horse called It's Business Time, which is favourite to win
yeah.
the Copeland's Bakery Mile. We tipped it out as best bet a little while ago. It piss bowled them in the last, paying $2.50. Not getting that quote again. I think we said that after it did win $1.85 now to win.
Oh, gross.
With Burn to Shine, $1.55 to run top 4. Both of these have been squeezed in now. And then there's a horse called Second Thought, which you won't need to have a second thought about putting any money on Saturday. And race number 9 at Rickerton, $50 returns $697.50. I just thought that could be a way to spend 50 or 5, whatever your denomination is. Yeah.
That's a nice multi, mate. I'm going to get on after the show. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I hope so, mate. Good luck to punters out there.
Absolutely. You got anything to put in a body bag in New Zealand this week here, Dan?
Yeah, I do. I spent a bit of time over the last few days deep diving into some videos, and I've come up with my own Dan Rack form analysis. So race 2 at Pukekohe, there's a horse that I don't know if I feel like we backed it in the Punters Club, Petrucci.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that one won pretty impressively, but I look a little bit further down the page, or up the page, and a horse called Desert Lightning.
Yes. This was one I like as well, Dan. I'm in.
Yeah.
Good man.
So when I look back through a lot of this horse's runs, he's run third in a crack a million to Prowess. He won the Avondale Guineas. He also ran second in the 2000 Guineas to Pierre when Pierre was on fire. He looked really strong in his trial. So I watched his trial. He looks good. The 1200, maybe, but I just feel like he might be the best horse in the race. I'm happy to take the 350. I think that's a little bit of good value there.
Mate, I've taken it too. I love this horse as well. I'm so excited about it coming back. It was so good last year. And 1,200 metres, it ran second to Sacred Satono, first up as well. Sacred Satono, we know, is a bloody good horse. And on its debut as well, I think it won over 1,100 metres as well. So can sprint fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, loves it fresh. The other one, I've had a little bit of value. Race 6, there's a horse called Khan Hunter. This horse has a bit of form around Pukekohe, funny enough, so it fucking loves the track. 7 starts on good tracks for 1/3 and 1/3 and there was like 3/4 or something like that. I really like the way it found the line last start. Like, it was a pretty hot tempo. There are some really good horses in this race. We've got the Good Oil. We've got Canny Rock, who was he your best bet last week?
Yeah, and Goats the week before that. That's the only reason I made it mine.
Queen Sarabi as well, who was going to go and win the New Zealand Cup, but now is going to go and win the Auckland Cup. But yeah, I think this horse $15 or $16 and 380 or something. I'm happy to have a little each way play on this horse over the 2200 at Pukekohe. I think that's a little bit of me.
Nice, mate. Khan Hunter, race 6, $15 and $4.20 a place. That's pretty good. Just looping back to race 2, Mille Fiori, Luke.
Yeah.
What was Ben's comment that He didn't even worry about Desert Lightning. All he was worried about was it beating up the Teako favourite, Petrucci.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be the first time that they've let all the favourite punters down and bet them up. So
Yeah.
it sounds like they're a little bit quietly confident first up there. So good on them. They've won one first up. Just on that, Desert Lightning is actually the third favourite for the Copeland's Bakery Mile, and this horse hasn't started yet. So the Tab are obviously running scared because ahead of it, you've got It's Business Time, who we'll see on Saturday, rolled them the other day. That's hot favourite. Then This Is Dramatic is second favourite, which we obviously saw win. And then Desert Lightning. Then you get into your he's a doozies, etc. So if you'd assume that they know that this horse is going straight down to Cup Week and will be having a crack on the Wednesday. And I tell you, this horse does seem like a sort of horse that could turn up and win that mile as well. So if you like it,
Yeah.
you'd probably be having a go. And I'd say even if it's running second, I would say they'd probably still be kicking on. And maybe if we could do someone could do some recce, maybe this is the target, the old Copeland's Bakery Mile, and it could upset that favourite It's Business Time.
Mate, I'm going to get on there. That horse is going to win something good. It's been there or thereabouts. It's going to win a good race.
Yeah, absolutely. If someone can tell me if that horse is planned to head to the Copeland's Bakery Mile, because I might go and grab the kids' the little
piggy bank.
piggy banks have got and shake them out, and put their future investment on Desert Lightning to win the Copeland's. What's that? $6.50? Did you say?
$8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
$8 at the moment. Absolutely. I wouldn't say that It's Business Time as a shoo-in. Let's see what everybody else is thinking out there. Adam, we've got some comments coming in, mate.
Yeah, so main question from here at the moment is who's winning the Cox's Plate, and we've got straight off the bat, Militarize,
Oh, damn.
Romantic Warrior,
Horny.
JMac.
yeah, Fangirl,
Okay, fan of that girl.
yeah, and then
Get it, Shelby.
there's just a bit of the Boys, and then it's kind of gone towards a lot of other races. Is Lady Sass in the race as well?
Oh, that's I don't know. That's racing somewhere.
Yeah,
else.
see, there you go. And everyone's kind of skewered off.
Skew whiffed off.
You guys were talking about Molly Bloom as well earlier, and there's a lot of love around that, and there's a big heads up saying, trust me, guys, this is a horse. So people are on the same kind of page here, eh, boys?
Nice,
Molly
mate.
Bloomers.
People are saying Molly Bloom, something in Molly Bloom that we're not.
Yeah. Hey, from Instagram, Espiona in Sydney from 7 Harley Charlie 7. Liam _Jackson, born in 1998. Pukekohe, race 7, Cognito. Troy NFT Fowler, Mr. Brightside. Oh, Louis Herman, what? Says the good oil, genuinely the horse, but the radio show too. Mitch on the hook, prowess to win the Crystal Mile. And then Nathan Kellogg's 3, Mr. Brightside as well. So a selection of winners from around the grounds there. I've got one too.
Yep.
At Pukekohe. I thought it was a little bit unlucky last start and thought maybe we could stick with. We all know a GC in our life, and there's one running on Saturday as well. It's in race number 5 in the Go Racing colours. They had quite a weekend out. Trained by Mr. Marshmallow Stephen himself. $7.50 and $2.70, but back to top 4, $2.10. That's the sort of horse that I think you want to have a win bet on, and you want to back it back to forfeit $2.10. If it doesn't win, you get your money back. Should be running top 4 in that 13-horse race.
And it's paying $2.10.
Just got to beat Gino Severini, mate.
Oh, mate, honestly.
Big Gino. Here we go.
It'll win one this summer. It didn't last summer, but it'll win one this summer, I reckon. But
Sick for it.
I looked at that race last night and I thought, well, there's nothing here in form, so I'm glad that you found one. And at GC, top 4, did that roll us in the Karaka Millions Punters Club last year? Second race at Karaka Millions, I'm pretty sure GC ran home and rolled us. I can't remember who we were on. It was the Karaka Cup or something like that?
No, I don't think it was. No.
No,
It
I'd
wasn't
remember.
GC.
I would have deleted that horse out of my. I wouldn't even see. I'd look down at that field and be like, no, I can't see a horse.
But that GC ran into some serious traffic. Hey, like that just fucking was just up the arse of every horse down the straight. It just never got clear. So
It was-
and full of it.
Yeah, Puketito just bet it 2 starts ago. And, yeah, I mean, we didn't see the best of Puketito, I don't think, at Hastings the other day.
No.
So I think, this one was only 4 lengths in behind Churchillian and was still, probably blocked for a run fairly deep into that straight. So willing to give that a crack from barrier 2 as well at Pukekohe on Saturday on a better track as well. So get some of that.
Nice. Hopefully that gives everybody something to follow at Pukekohe and Riccarton as we roll into the Valley, which runs through to 7:50 p.m. as well. And honestly, from 4:30 p.m., there is some great horse racing to watch. Make sure you got your phone, or make sure you're at home, or make sure you're at the pub watching it. Whatever it is, you need to be watching it, because race 5 at 4:30, we've got 2 of New Zealand's top horses going around, Mustang Valley and Prowess in the Crystal Mile Group 2 over 1,600 metres. Dan, you've probably looked at a million videos from this, but there's only a 6-horse field. 2 Kiwis. How good?
Yeah, there's not many you can look at here, but the other one that I'd seen was Anito, which I think is one that we had. Was that the multi? Was that the one that ended the multi? Yeah, right. And it runs second,
the place multi that we had.
Yeah, and it runs second in the last race and just got taken down. So that's pretty good form at Caulfield. Mustang Valley, I think maybe is going to struggle on the better track, like we seen at Hastings last time. Dropping back to the 1,600. Maybe the 1,600 is just maybe where it's more comfortable, so that's the other thing. Prowess, I think we could just put a line through that last run because all sorts of horses got beat up on that track, and so did I. I mean, that's a bit of a theme for like the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Your first week, you were bloody strong, I tell you.
Yeah,
go back to that.
Yeah, go back to that. Yeah, give us a good track. Tell us, make us know what we're looking at. No, but I think Tuvalu's a good horse as well. Like, this is a really good race. I find with these smaller races, like, the tempo, and they can be a little bit strange in what's going on. But in all fairness, like, they should all get a crack. I think the $4 is fair for Prowess. I'm happy to take that.
3.6 out to 4. You'd have a bet.
Yep.
Dan loves the Kiwi, eh? You just want to back the Kiwi, support the Kiwi.
100%.
Yeah, I agree. You've got to be on something. Are you on it, Luke? Are you on Prowess? You happy?
Oh, I'm really keen to see how it goes. And, yeah, I think the money's a bit concerning, 3.6 out to 4. I think if it won in its first race at Harwood there, maybe it would be a bit tighter. But, yeah, it's not going to be an easy race for it. But, shit, even on this tight turning track, there's only going to be 5 others to be, beating home. I'll be having something and hoping that the dream can stay alive. But I'm not overly confident.
Yeah, it's class. It's class. I did hear from the GOAT today, who was on a plane to Melbourne, and he said trainers were on as well. James Wellwood, sorry, that name just slipped me for 10 seconds, but I got there. Yeah. James Wellwood was on the plane. He said he was concerned about the barrier draw, barrier 1.
It might be, yeah.
But he did say to the GOAT that it had got through that heavy track pretty well, so should be really ready to go. But barrier 1 with 5 horses in it, like, should it matter? Maybe it's just that tight track.
Well, you tell you what, you ring your Mark Zara and you say, fucking sort it, mate. Let's roll.
Get out there.
Simple as that.
Get out there. Absolutely. Well, hopefully the Kiwis win. See Opie Boston's on Mustang Valley. Would be awesome to see Prowess get 2 from 2 in Australia as well. Race 8, the Manikato Stakes. I think this is one we've been looking forward to for about what must be now 3 weeks since we saw Imperatriz run at the Valley that Friday night and the 2 Friday nights before that. Has just been smashing them, and they have been talking about Imperatriz being the best sprinter in the country. It should win $1.50. Dan, are you on, mate?
No, I think I'll just watch this. Like, I do think she's going to win. She's going to fucking beat them up. But I'm happy to just watch this. Like, I feel like I'm actually really emotionally invested in this horse now.
Yeah.
And I'm just listening to the confidence levels. Like, they are. You can just hear them when they're talking about this horse. Like, the dapples are coming out, like it's just coming on. We think she's better. If she's better than what she done last time, she might win by fucking 15 lengths.
Yeah.
The one that I did like, and the value's sort of gone now, but earlier in the week we had Uncommon James at $1.80 for top 3, and I thought that was really good value. $1.80 top 3, now it's into $1.55. So I think if you were going to take the $1.50 for Imperatriz, I think maybe Uncommon James, $1.55 top 3, is potentially a better bet if you want to make money.
Nice. Jeez. Don't mind it. What about throwing Imperatriz into your Rickerton multi, Luke?
Oh, I did. Yeah, people were asking that on the comments. I just didn't even think about it, Lazy.
Surely.
I just kept it strictly down south, you see. It was my Rickerton multi.
He's a southern man. He's a southern man.
Put your Cox Plate in there. I'm like, fuck. Great. Let's see what I've got going at Pukekohe.
Still down there, brother.
Next thing I have JBG finishing the multi.
We'll get to the old Cox Plate. Imperatriz, the way that it's won those 2 races, and in particular that first one where it came around the corner, and we know that Giga Kick maybe had an injury and maybe had problems. They pulled it out of the Everest. But, like, it wasn't even trying, and it just sprinted around them and just took off and smashed them. Like, this horse could be something incredible.
Didn't it beat Asfura as well from recollection 2 starts ago?
Yeah, 2 starts ago, yeah.
Yeah, and
easy.
That smacked up Uncommon James by 3 lengths the other day. Like,
Yeah.
that thing is a freak as well, and it just,
Yeah.
rolled that. I remember last season, Tiako sort of saying, look, Imperatriz, this horse, stick with it, it could be better than Probabile. And I'm sitting there going, fucking excuse me? What? Seriously? And then it didn't really prove that. And I kind of thought, oh man, I really brought into the hype. But this year, my word, they've sort of figured out where to place it, what to be racing in, against who. They got Aussies running scared. You've only got 6 lining up against it. And now going to be 4 from 4 from Moonee Valley on Saturday, $1.55. I don't know, just beat inflation and carry on. Didn't even need a vote last week.
Just quietly, I think if we go large and we have a big win on the Tuesday on the Melbourne Cup, maybe we take some of those winnings and we book some flights and we go over for Saturday for Champions Day when she runs down the straight.
Oh, wow.
See if Opie Blossom can get us into the saddling ring or
That'd
something.
be cool.
We'll get him on the seat chat again. We'll see how we go.
Make some calls, Luke.
Yeah, okay.
Get
I
the
think I
bits
got my
right.
mum staying.
Seriously?
Legally. I think so.
Mum, you're coming.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That is awesome. Great idea, mate. Looking forward to the Melbourne Cup. Just
Not
on
awesome
that
having my
run.
mum stay.
That run you were talking about last time, the jockey that was on Asfura, I remember being in Australia, and he was like, man, we were going quick, but that thing that went past us was just like lightning. So,
Really? Wow,
they
that's
know it.
cool.
Like, everybody over there is so pumped about it. It's awesome. Can't wait for that. Race 8, Manikato Stakes, 620 Imperatriz. Like we said on the title, lads, Luke, JMac's Cox Plate Toulouse.
Yeah, see what we've done there?
Yeah.
Wow. Great one.
Good one, mate.
The group one.
When are you going to be a dad, eh? It's going to happen
Yeah,
sometimes.
look, yeah, fucking awesome stuff, mate. Great banter. I don't know where to look at this, to be honest. This is just a race I cannot figure out. I never seem to clock it. I never get it right. Thought maybe I might just tail between the legs and have a little something on Militarize and watch that. Hear all the hype about Romantic Warrior for JMac to go back to back. Then I read something about how it's only 90% fit due to the facilities that it's kicking around in. I thought,
What?
oh, fuck's sake, or maybe 95. And you got a horse like Mr. Brightside in there that really rolled me last start, and the Punters Club, and then Alligator Blood going so well. So I don't know. Just Dan, do you know, mate?
Well, I've known for a long time. I've known what I'm going to back. I don't know who's going to win it. But I've been on Militarize. I think I said this. I don't know. It feels like a fucking century ago, but it was a few weeks ago.
It was about a month ago.
About a month ago, I said Militarize. It was $18. I said, get on for the Cox Plate because I think this horse is a good horse. Its run in the Caulfield Guineas was good considering the position it came from. I don't think the tempo or the way the race runs suited it. They took it for a run around the valley on the Breakfast of Champions or whatever it's called, and apparently it, done everything right, switched legs at the right time, and looked quite impressive. The other one I like is actually, funny enough, the other Chris Waller one, Fangirl. She just beat them up last start. Like, that was a really impressive one. Really run away the last 100. So I don't quite mind. Maybe I'll have a look in the morning and I'll see what that Quinella's paying. And if I am going to be a little bit cheeky, I'd probably just box up Militarize, Fangirl, and Romantic Warrior into a trifecta, and I'll take $10 worth of that and see what happens.
Nice.
That'll be paying pretty well, I would have thought. Mate, like you say, there are so many there. I'm actually, I just don't look at the form enough. So I listened to you a month ago, Dan, Militarize. I got on the futures and I got my punt on, so I'm going to stick strong to that. If you're a Kiwi and you're punting into Australia, you always look for James McDonald horses, so that might be my second one, and that's come from Hong Kong, so it must be bloody good. But yeah, this is an awesome race. I remember watching it last year because the horse I really did follow last year was Animo, when it was just cleaning them all up, and it was like, righto, got beaten on the Cox Plate the year before. This year's its their year, and it was its year. Yeah, that great call, from Matt Hill, I think the commentator is. And I just remember looking at it and the atmosphere and the vibe and the people just being right on top of the race, and the short straight, and they're all just bowling around, and there's people right there. Yeah. It looks like such a cool thing to be at.
They just love it over there. When last weekend, a couple of these Aussies guys are like, "Oh, so are you coming over for any of the other races?" And I was like, "Oh, nah." And they were like, just looked at me like, "The fuck is wrong with you?" Like, what? And I was like, oh.
We're hanging out for Ellerslie, mate.
It's real bizarre. I was like, oh, so like I offended them. I think they were just, why would you not? But anyway, it is a great atmosphere. I've been to a couple of Cox Plates, and it is something pretty special. And yeah, got to see Winks there as well. It is just a great race. I think the Aussies really get in behind it. If JMac can't get the job done, there is whisper that he can in the last on a horse called Schwartz.
Okay.
That's drawn barrier 1, number 10 down the bottom of the book. The Godfather, Dwan White. I see he was first to comment on one of the posts about best bets for the weekend. He said that this will be winning. So there you go. Usually knows something that some of us won't. So that could be a way to play the last if you are still punting come 7:50 p.m.
Mate.
on Saturday night.
Gotta love that, eh? You got to keep going. If you're in the Punters Club, that's when you go to, isn't it? It was 8 o'clock cut-off, so you got to keep going.
Long day.
Absolutely.
Walked 26 Ks that day. Sure.
That's what your bloody phone tells you, mate. I'm not
Yep.
sure about that, eh?
Get on.
You burnt that off at 4 o'clock in the morning down at Little HQ, I think, eh?
Well, it could have been just 26 kilometres to walk home. This way I was stumbling around trying to find my place.
Mate, I'm looking forward to go to Little HQ again. I really enjoyed that.
Okay, nice.
Anyway, let's move on. There is just finally to mention Randwick Race 4. Luke, a horse that you liked last year, Cruise Missile. Do you remember Cruise Missile last year? I think it ran in the Derby, didn't do anything. It ran in the lead-up race, didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's scratched this weekend, mate.
Oh, fuck, is it gone? Oh, mate, it was people were talking about it last year thinking it was going to be quite good, but
Yeah.
throw that piece of paper away.
Yeah, no, there are a couple to keep an eye out at Randwick. These are very, very rough, so just be careful. One is in race number 7, the Moet and Shandong Spring Championship Stakes at Group 1 level. And you've got to beat Tom Kitten, but that thing is a fucking cat, so don't worry about that. Number 7, Ravello. Just carry on. So then anyway, into race number 8 as well, a horse called Magic Time. And then race number 9, a horse called Ducasa. It gets back and will need every ounce of the straight. Barrier 12's not great as well, but those are 3 that I'll be having a crack at in quick succession. I'm looking forward to seeing this Ducasa up to 1,600 metres, $11 and $3.30. Look for its big white boots to be just getting you home in Randwick.
Can you drop that in the chat, mate? Because I can't remember those.
Yeah,
Please
okay,
let
I'll
us
do
know.
it. Okay, yeah. There are 3 in a row, so yeah, you're either going to do your ass at the end of the day or you're going to have an absolute fill-up.
Good on you, mate. Dan, anything
You
else
only
you
need
like
one
in
of them to
Australia?
win.
No, nothing else for me. No,
All right, all right.
I've kept with New Zealand. I've got my best bet. That's the only thing I've got.
All right.
It's got a bit of fucking value.
Good man. Let's get to best bets then. And honestly, thank you, Fitzy. Fitzy's in this week. Fitzy's got a best bet for us. I'm not sure if the fields are out yet, but let's get cracking into the best bets and start with Fitzy's. Let's get into the harness to start with. Kaikoura Monday, race 4, Smoke on the Water. Fitzy loves it. If you're having a punt on Monday, I'm sure Dan, you'll probably drop a few onto the BGP chat on Monday, won't you? If you'll like it, Kaikoura.
I do have one that I like at Kaikoura, in the Kaikoura Cup, actually. I think Krug is going to be some good value.
Nice.
So I think that's going to be a good each-way bet we can get stuck into.
Good man. Scam Man will have a few going as well, but his best bet for this week is Methvin tomorrow, race 7, Motormouth. Get on quick, as the price is going quicker than last week's pay. He's correct. It's going from 450 to 380 or something like that
Sheesh.
pretty quickly since this morning. So,
Yeah, man.
but the Scam Man has given us a little whisper that he might have a good bet for Kaikoura on Monday. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that.
in the group, the
Good.
Facebook group.
Absolutely. Righto. Ted's best, M2 Pukekohe Race 7 in preview. There's a couple of us going to the well this week that we've already been as best bets, but in preview is back on for Ted, looking for her to bounce back at a nice each way odds of $9 and $3. Forget the run up Matamata last start, back to the 1,400 metre distance, which she races well at, and she's had 3 starts here for 2 placings. 2 starts ago, she won over 1,400 metres, beating Zayla, who I think came out and won last start, an electric time, with both having won since. She's nicely placed at the weights with 3 kg claim and only 54 kgs on her back. Pukekohe Race 7 and preview from Ted. Get on board. The GOAT off to Melbourne. He's got one for us tomorrow. You can get your weekend started. M4 New Plymouth Race 5, Lock in Aura. First starter has gone nicely at the jump out, so it will be no surprise to see her salute on debut. Already 350 into 280 tomorrow, so get on quick if you like. Lock in Aura, New Plymouth Race 5. Maddie from Punt IQ, Moonee Valley Race 6, Skybird, 320, steps to the mile, third up, having won both starts to date. She's a back marker, but could be a special filly. Loved her turn of foot off slow and moderately run races, looking for her to be swooping and running over them late. Maddie, Punt IQ, Moonee Valley Race 6, Skybird, How good. That's 5 best bets for you. We've got 3 more. Dan, how you going, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. And I'm actually, funny enough, going back to the well. Pukekohe Race 9, number 10, Latrell. I think I tipped this out a few weeks ago in the Arrowfield weekend. We can forget about that. I've mentioned it 6 times. I think that track was pretty off. It was a heavy track. A lot of horses really struggled to get through the track that day. Going back, didn't look like it handled the track. It was really impressive in its fresh up win. Now it looks like it's going to step up to the 1,600. I think we're getting a really good price. Ryan Elliott on board. And so I think we're in for a good run here. The $8.50 I think is overs. I think it should be around $5. So for me, I'm going to get on.
Good man. Back to the well. Luke, where
Love
you going?
that. I'm going to go down south and have a crack down there. Meeting 6 at Riccarton, race number 9, 6 and 9. But number 4, second thought, drawn barrier 4. Drawn barrier 4. Sammy Weatherly on. This thing's $5.50 into $4.50 already. Lightly raced. This is its 19th start. Should be, hopefully, its 6th win. So it's won 5 from 18. 3 starts at the distance as it gets up to 2,000 metres. Goes very good on a good track, and it is 3rd up. So I'm hoping that we get a good track. Sammy Weatherly can steer this one home. Second thought in race number 9 at Riccarton.
Nice, mate. Get on, people. Can we get that 6-9 joke into the Trackside Live tomorrow?
We can try.
Mate, definitely. Get prepped. That'll be good.
Okay.
Righto. My best bet, I'm going M2 Pukekohe Race 3 Academy Award at $4.50. This horse has had more seconds and thirds than anything I've seen in New Zealand. It was well within Wild Knight last season in a few races. Fresh up at Taupō, it was just running into arse the whole way. I think it finished last. Honestly, it didn't get a run.
Lucky horse.
It was ready to go. It was ready to go. Couldn't get out. I think it was lined up last week. It was drawn barrier 16, so Marshy's pulled it out. He obviously wants it to win. I reckon it should go good. Pukekohe Race 3 Academy Award at $4.50. Hopefully people get rich off those this weekend. We're due a good one, aren't we, lads?
We are due. Last week was a little bit tough, wasn't it? But we go again. That's the punt. We fight back.
Absolutely. You've got to keep going. Dan, do you need to go for a piss, mate, or have you got something left for the people?
I cannot wait for the stream to end so I can go run out to the bathroom.
How long has your bladder normally last week?
No, I'll go like 5 minutes max.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
absolutely. Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm my pancreatic cancer or whatever. But you know, that's not
Busy
worry
day,
about it.
Melbourne Cup day for you, mate. Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
We'll get the table next to the bathroom.
Yeah, good idea, mate. Good idea.
Absolutely. Luke, mate, earlier in the week we had some good news that Karaka Millions is still, 90 to 100% likely to go to Ellerslie.
Yeah, we're still hanging on to hope that it's 90% of the way there, that
Yep.
we're going to be there at Ellerslie. It was a good update earlier in the week. I might get along to Ellerslie and catch up with Paul Wilcox at some stage myself. Maybe get a little bit of content going and find out. Maybe we could get the exclusive. But anyway, they've got to gallop some horses on the track and all that sort of stuff to get all the protocols done. But hopefully we'll be there on the 27th of January. Make sure your calendar's booked out because whatever we do on that Saturday, she's going to be a big one.
Absolutely. And let them know what our song is for that day as well.
Yeah, we've narrowed it down to a few.
What did he play in the after Karaka Millions last year? Was it Journey?
Scribe Crusader.
Sky, yeah. Okay, right. We can do that. That's fun. That's at the after party. That's all good. We'll have that, and a bit of Journey.
Yeah.
And, mate, you're going to take some badges down to the New Zealand Cup for everybody that's down there. Is anyone going?
Right, anyone coming to the bloody New Zealand Cup?
Let's find
Hey,
out.
is it just me going to watch JBG? Seriously? Come on. Bloody hell, it's $2.60 by the time we get down there.
Mate, absolutely. It'll come in from 31 to 260 and it'll clean them up. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining in again tonight. I can't wait for the horse racing this Saturday. Looking forward to chilling out, taking it easy, and taking in the Cox Plate and Imperatriz and all of our best bets. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. Good luck to everybody on the punt. As usual, gamble responsibly, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys all again next Thursday. Thanks very much.
Game, set, and match. Shut down.
Beautiful.
There you go.